Hi everybody, this is just a little video to introduce this next layer of work that's coming into my consciousness, which I'm calling the Sisterhood Code. There's also a Brotherhood Code, which is pretty much exactly the same, but being a woman, the Sisterhood Code is something that's incredibly dear to my heart. And it's something that I have been applying to my own self and creating a body of work around, because it's had such a profound sense of freedom as I've worked through it myself. It's allowing me to come so close these days to my female friends, my other sisters. And because this work, this Magdalene, this Sophia work, is so intrinsically linked with deep and sincere and timeless relationships, it is something that I always felt that one day I would have to address, only when it was sincerely laid to rest inside of me. Now, I'm not saying I don't get occasionally hit with elements within the Sisterhood Code. They still arise to be seen, but I always treat them as an ally, because within their discomfort in my own body, I recognize immediately that there's still yet another prayer that goes out to the Sophia, goes out to God, with the heartfelt request for the time and space for my own self, my own soul, to enter into yet another healing from this wound. My research, as you know, I have this incredible masculine feminine thing going on. My scientific and knowledgeable research has led me to the psychological arena that the greats, Freud and Jung, they have all pointed towards this, what they call a warped thrift within the feminine psyche, that there's this sense of a balanced fabric, but there's this occasional warp in the thrift. One of the threads, if you like, of our psyche is slightly off, with this insane tendency to compare, contrast, and to evaluate our own existence through the reflection of other external feminines, females. If you're not aware that you're doing this, it may well translate in your body as fear, as jealousy, as envy, and worst case scenario, as hatred. Let's just call a spade a spade. That's how it comes in. That's how it makes itself known inside of us. And as I've mentioned on my website, even great master yogis have said that this is just simply part and parcel of our consciousness and our psyche. And even at the time, 10 years ago, 12 years ago, I disagreed, and I'm still disagreeing. I do not for one moment believe or think that there is nothing that we can't do to transform this. So hence coming up with this body of work that I'm calling the Sisterhood Code, which brings us back to trust of the feminine, trust of other females, other women, other girls, truth, the ability to speak truth, absolutely, profoundly, relative, the whole gamut, complete truth. Envy, jealousy, to own that and to come forward when you're in that state with that particular sister, mother, daughter, and with the power of truth and trust, we can absolutely heal this tendency. Feelings of unworthiness in the reflection of other women, feelings of anger, feelings of hate, feelings of fear. So I'm talking about the present day, modern day reflections and tendencies of this wound, of this injury, which, again, in my consciousness and the feminine aspect of myself, I've been able to track back to those original causes in our history, in our archives, where women have absolutely betrayed one another, have absolutely turned their back on one another. And in a myriad of ways, this has dispersed into pockets of fear, betrayal, denial. It's the classic, it's the 5 wounds of Christ all over again, but just being reflected out towards the feminine. Female friends, daughters, mothers, sisters. And using the 5 realities, physical, mental, emotional, sexual, and spiritual, soulful. The body of work, the Sisterhood Code, is to go into those 5 regions, to go into the 5 gates that house the memories, that house the roots, the seeds of these relationships that are toxic. It's whether we admit that or not. And then the 7 chakras, which is where we house the responses, the behavioral reaction, should I say. So again, creating this hologram that we can enter into through the 5 realities, looking for the seed codes, the original cause, looking for the present day behavioral response, and looking for the particular wound of love that it comes in on, whether it's betrayal, abandonment, denial, judgment, separation. And my greatest vision is that together, hand in hand, heart in heart, soul in soul, we can heal this discrepancy within our psyche, within our consciousness, and we can authentically and wholesomely and elegantly and with dignity and courage link arms with one another and lay to rest once and for all whatever happened in the past, so that we as women and our daughters can flourish and bloom and beautify, liberated from this dark shadow. Amen. And all this information is on my websites, pilgrimageoflove.com and AnaiyaSophia.com. Thank you for taking the time to listen.